It's another Leadership Wednesday. The first few weeks, I talked about the characteristics of a good leader: to be unbiased, to be the bigger person, to be responsible and accountable. So this week, I want to talk about the characteristics of a good leader: to be called, to be chosen, and to be prepared. So Matthew 22:14 says that many are called, but few are chosen. And that word called is the Greek word kletos, and that means invited. And the phrase are chosen is the Greek word ekletos, and it means select, it means favorite, and it means chosen by God. So you can be called to something but not chosen. You can be called or invited to come to a game show but not chosen to actually come to the stage and play for prizes. You can be called to be an athlete or to be a part of a sports team and not chosen to actually play in the game. So when you're chosen for something, it goes back to that word ekletos, and one of those definitions was favorite. So the root word of favorite is favor. So when you are chosen to do something, when you're chosen by God, you have his favor on whatever it is that you're doing. And when you have his favor, people can see that. They can see it on your in your lifestyle, in your ethic, in your character. You can be out here called to do something and you're doing it in your will, in your way. You're doing it in your strength. But when you are chosen by God, when you have his favor, you're performing in excellence and you're performing in his strength. So especially if you're in leadership, you want to make sure that you are chosen, that you're ordained, that you're favored by God to be doing whatever it is that you're doing, or leading whomever it is that you're leading. So what is something that could keep you from being chosen? Your character can keep you from being chosen. And it makes me think of the book of Esther, when King Xerxes was in the royal palace. He was having a party. He had his friends over. He was drinking. He was having a good time. He was what we would call lit. He was lit. And he looked around and he noticed that his wife, Queen Vashti, was not there at the party with him. And he wanted her there at the party to show her off to all of his friends because she was so beautiful. And so he sent for her to come to the party. And so she was off in the palace doing her own thing, having her own fun. She had her own plans and she was having her own good time. So when she heard that he wanted her to come to the party, she said, send word back and tell him I ain't coming. I ain't coming. God bless you. I ain't coming. And so when word got back to him that she said that she's not coming, he didn't like that because he thought she was being disobedient and that she wasn't being submissive. And he did not want the other women in Susa to act like her and think that they could talk to their husbands like she was talking to him, or think that they could run things. So he put out a royal decree to ban her from the palace and also to strip her from her title as queen and as his wife. And not only that, he put out a search for another queen to replace her. So your character can keep you from being chosen, and your character can actually get you put out of position. So you want to be called, you want to be chosen, then you want to be prepared. So when you're prepared, you are ready beforehand. You are ready. You stay ready. And so when you are not prepared, that can cause you to miss great opportunities. So going back to the book of Esther, when she heard that the king was in search of a new queen, someone recommended her. And she had to go through a preparation. She had to go through a process. She had to prepare to be queen. So she had to go through 12 months of beauty treatments before she was presented to King Xerxes as his queen. So she was prepared to be queen beforehand. So you want to be called, you want to be chosen, and you want to be prepared. And I want to ask you this question: are you really ready to be a leader in ministry, in the community or in the workplace? And if so, what are you doing to prepare yourself for it? Until next time, bye-bye.